Hi. I just woke up. I haven't had my coffee yet, and I'm needing to talk. When I started philosophy and I got into the world of existentialism, I went into there was a perspective shift that I had at one particular moment that sent me into a massive realization of how irrelevant we are. And this is exactly what existentialism does. It questions, this is what philosophy does. You can't ask these questions and pull them apart without finding, without breaking down everything you are and then rebuilding it. And I can't tell if I'm definitely in an existential crisis. There is something called an existential crisis where you realize your perspective shifts so greatly that you just realize you don't mean anything. You'll die and the world will turn on and just keep going. This really bothered me that I was that irrelevant. That's because I lacked identity at the time. Yesterday, when I was working out some philosophical stuff, I had a breakthrough and I found the definition of truth. It was amazingly eye opening. I had the definition of truth. And as soon as I realized what truth was, I plugged it into my formula, into my triadic healing, and it shifted my triadic healing more specifically right on, like perfect. It aligned. And I was able to finally sit down and write my abstract to prove triadic healing cures mental illnesses. And I was able to, from there, I understand what the healing garden is, what it does. I feel like I'm on day 1, and I needed to be on day 120. I needed to be on day 790. So I'm feeling broken, beaten down, and discouraged because I'm resetting yet again. And then there was this moment of taking the definition of truth and applying it to everything that I have and had. Truth is something that's really bothered me my entire life because it's poorly defined. It's not poorly defined, it's poorly defined. When you look it up in the dictionary, as I did, it has 3 different definitions, and all of the definitions contradict each other. The problem is the definition, the word, is truth. And I was taught, as we all are, that truth has one definition. What is real? Period. What is real? And when you plug in that definition, what is real? We all begin this massive pursuit for truth. What is real? And we're all wandering around in this life. And I never talk about it. I never go into it with triadic healing. But really, that's what we're doing. We're pursuing our truth. I don't know which of us is doing it. Maybe the entire unit is doing it. Maybe our subconscious, our conscious awareness, and our identity all got together and said, hey, we need to pursue truth. We need to know what's real. We have to figure out our coordinates in this world. So how are we going to do that? And subconscious mind says, well, first we got to be safe, people. We got to be safe. And conscious awareness says, no. I want to be happy. I don't care where we go, but we had better be happy when we do this. And identity says, I don't care where we go and I don't care if we're safe, so long as I can be free and identify myself. I just need to define who I am. So I got these three people in my head and they're all having this conversation. And the actual pursuit is truth. It's like in One Piece when they're all. My cat's not allowed on the counter, by the way, for the record. I am not good at disciplining cats and training them. I don't think anyone is. It's like in One Piece when Luffy has, I want to be the Pirate King. That's his goal. That's his mission. I want to be the Pirate King. And to be the Pirate King, you have to find the One Piece. And he finds people along the way. And every one of those people has a mission. He finds Nami, and she says, I'll support you because I want to be the world's greatest navigator and I want to draw a world map. My cat's outside, just a minute. Come on. And he's, okay, you sit here. And they do this with everyone. Every character announces that they have their own mission, but overall, they're going to the One Piece, if it even exists. That's the adventure. And that's what this is. We were always pursuing our reality. And then reality. It's a word I don't think I've looked up yet. What is reality? The world or the state of things as they actually exist, as opposed to an idealistic or notional idea of them. And the thing is with words is the definitions are only defined by how they are used. And I know you're not comfortable. There you go, baby. And I'm going, they're just words as they are commonly used today. But truth and reality, truth, a pursuit of truth, that is what takes place in the court of law. That's one of the three definitions. There's, okay. There is the definition of religion. How truth defines religion. How religion defines truth. And there is how science defines truth. And then there is how law defines truth. And not one of them can agree on a definition of truth. And I'm sitting here as a philosopher screaming, guys, it's truth. Why can't we agree on a definition? And the reason why this is so important is because in philosophy, the very first lesson is who are we and an introduction. The second lesson is the importance of definition. Because if you're not working on the same definition, you're not going to communicate properly. And it goes further with when you enter into a formal argument or debate, you are required to sit down and define. And if you don't define what it is you're discussing, if the vocabulary you are using is not defined, you are not going to be able to formally argue because you could be working with two different definitions and you'll have a misunderstanding. And in the world of formal argument, this is a do or die situation, especially in the world of philosophy, because of all the words in the world, the word truth should have a single definition. I was expecting to look it up and see truth, reality. What is? Science defines it as that. So the definition of reality, what is real? There's a lot of people out there who think that what is real is the material plane, molecules. The thing is, I don't do well with this world. I don't. I have never done well with this world. And there was a point in my healing in 2015 when I finally broke my dissociation and I was able to come out of it and settle down into this world and this plane. And I hated it here. Why would I be here when I can be in my imagination? This world was so mean to me. It was so cruel to me. And it still is. Why would I ever want to be here? I was terrified. I had just spent 12 years writing books, living in my mind while I wrote those books. And if I wasn't writing my own, I was in someone else's, taking turns stepping into other people's minds so I could escape this one because this one sucked. And it took a lot of work to learn that one is fantasy and one is not. So I trained myself to live in the real one. And I was miserable. And then I was happy. And then I was miserable. And then I was only happy on the surface. And then I was really, truly happy deep down. And then I was just miserable. And I kept thinking, happiness is what you make of it. Reality is what you make of it. Your life is what you make of it. And then I get into the world of manifestation. And I'm going, and the material and the ethereal plane started to mix again. And then I would get into the fantasy realm so strongly. I had to be careful not to neglect this world. And there's a balance. But then I get this calling, this hardcore drive of just pursue your goal and pursue your dream. And I just want to say to the universe, you know what? Find someone else. You've been mean to me. So yeah, I guess you could say I had a fight with the universe last night where I just did a whole lot of screaming. And I said, I'm going to shut it all down and just quit. The thing is, I didn't have very many people in my life. Who cares? I don't have anyone really in my life. I've got my daughter. I feel so low right now. And I'm just sitting here going, I am so focused on this dream that there's a possibility that I am going to end up homeless with my daughter in New York City. And I am way too incompetent to manage their government systems to get help. So my only option now is to go back to the place that abused me. But I'm trusting the universe. And I'm looking at it going, really, I trust you, and this is what you do to me. And I have my father's voice in my head from a few weeks ago. And I've got and I am just looking for a strand of hope. And I just, with the definition I found yesterday, it means that truth is whatever we make of it. Truth is whatever we decide it to be. I accumulated all the definitions. And I realized that they're all right because they're all in the dictionary. And I realized that if you look at the definitions all as one, encompassing whole. The religious people say truth is what you believe it is. That's truth. And then I looked at law, and they say truth is what is. And I set that aside. What can be proven? And in law, it's what, and law defined truth. Let me look it up again. I cannot remember exactly how law defined truth. But it was the quality or state of being true, that which is true or in accordance with fact or reality, a fact or a belief that is accepted as true. And I'm like, and that's when I realized that the definition of truth really, and I thought it was certainty. I thought truth was certainty, but it's not. Because if you believe it, then it's X. But if you change the belief, then it's B. That's not certain. And here people are manifesting all over the place, and they're altering these truths left and right. You can make whatever truth you want. Truth is a subjective opinion. It's just one more piece of our perspective. So you can make whatever truth you want. I was writing about negativity or optimism and pessimism. And if you're an optimist, you're going to have an optimistic perspective. If you are a pessimist, you're going to have a pessimistic perspective. It's like when you go into a specialist's office with a problem in the medical field, the dermatologist is going to see a skin problem. The podiatrist is going to see a foot problem. The neurologist is going to see a brain problem. Perspective. And I realized that the definition of truth is an individual or a group's definition of what is real, but it's subjective. So if a jury and a judge believe X, then majority rule, truth is X. If you, one person, believes a religion, then that's your truth. And there's the word, your truth. Technically, every time you use the word truth, you are using the phrase your truth, reminding you that it is your opinion, your perspective. Now, scientists say that truth is whatever is outside of that perspective. No, it's not. They're wrong. And there's the shift. There's where I went, oh, the scientific definition is wrong. Reality isn't what we think it is. I always believed that truth was an invisible X out there, an unknown that we had to pursue. That's why I studied philosophy. That's why I did a lot of what I did, is because I wanted the truth. That's it. My core definition of who I am has always been built on my pursuit for truth. And here I am, and I finally found it. And I just went, wait, are you telling me this whole time that I've been looking for something that doesn't even exist, that's just in my head? Well, then why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? And I just had this thought. So you get another mission, you do another truth. Your new mission. This isn't existentialism. Yes, it is. It's existentialism. Very much so. This is an identity crisis because I just solved my mission. And there's this void of, well, now what do I do? You keep going, I'm told. And I'm going, why? People don't want to heal. People do not want to heal. They really don't. I speak to people all day long. You know, I don't understand procrastination. I don't understand people who want something and they do nothing. I don't understand those people. I have never been one of those people. I am the people who I see something, I want something, I do it. It's when I don't want something that it becomes a problem. Ergo, people aren't doing anything because they don't want it. And I know that people are not like me. I know that. I know that everyone's different. Maybe they just haven't suffered like I did. No one has suffered like I did. And maybe that's just it. Maybe it's because I have this very clear definition of suffering. So when I think about suffering, I don't want that. I want to be free. And right now, I don't feel free. I do in many ways, and in other ways, I don't feel free at all. I just, and then I went to sleep fighting with my daughter, crying, upset, distraught, ready to just rip all of this down and just say, I'm done with it. I am just not meant for this world. I am just not. So I thought I'll just turn the world into something I can live in. And that's my truth. I can't function in this world. I healed, and now I really can't function in it. So I thought I'll just turn it into something that I can function. Maybe that's why no one's healing, is because you can't function in it the way it is now, which is why everything's fucked up. Maybe the system does need to fall. That way we can function again. Maybe the system has built us into this beautiful comfort zone. No, I'm going to say it. The system has built us this beautiful comfort zone. It's too comfortable. It's too easy to just. It reminds me of Fahrenheit 451. They made everyone so comfortable and so uneducated and so easy that no one questioned the system they were part of. No one questioned it. And there was this one day where I woke up and I went, oh my God, I'm in Brave New World. I'm in Fahrenheit 451. I'm in Anthem. We're there. And I'm just going, oh my God. Because when you try and get out of the system, you can't. Oh, yes, you can. I got out. As long as I stay away from philosophy and existentialism, I'm as happy as fuck. So I'm sitting here, and I went to sleep, and I ended up having a very vivid dream, which is just my identity communicating me. And that was, I dreamt that Juanito was in the dream talking to me. Having this massive philosophical debate with me about my message, my mission, my destiny, my path. And part of me is going, what if this is the last lowest stop? That once I break through this final rough spot, I'll be there. What if I decide to stop now and it's just over the corner? It's always when we are at our lowest that we rise the highest. And right now, I am literally as low as I can be. The thing is, I'm tired of pushing. I'm tired of trying to make things happen. And maybe that's the difference. I feel like this world is built only to accommodate the ignorant and the mentally ill. And I am no longer ignorant or mentally ill. So now I really can't participate in it. And I just have this massive feeling of where the hell am I supposed to be? I lost my belonging. I have my belongings so long as I believe that I can change a place into something that I need where I can exist. Somebody once told me many, many times that I am way ahead of my time. And I don't believe that. I believe that people like me are the people who push us into the next stage. That it's people like me who says things, who asks the questions, who raises the awareness. And I believe one person can make all the difference. And I hate that this system has everybody so fucking dependent on money. It pits us against each other. And I don't know how to get out of here. Yes, I do. I know exactly what I need to do to get out of here. I need to change my perspective. I need to find one belief. I need to find maybe and what ifs. Maybe it's not as bad as I think it is. What if this is the last time I have to stand in the mud? And part of me just wants to throw it all down and say, no, I'm tired of doing things your way. I'm tired of being optimistic and forcing myself out of the mud. I am tired of being the one to always to pick myself up. I just want someone to come find me. It's a lesson I learned really early on, and it saved my life. No one's coming. Nathaniel Branden wrote The Four Pillars of Self-Esteem, or the Seven Pillars of Self-Esteem. I don't remember how many pillars, but he wrote all the self-esteem books. They're beautiful, beautiful books. And the first chapter, he explains, no one's coming. It's just you. And he goes into how a lot of people cope with this and how a lot of people feel about it. And I never had a problem believing that no one was coming. It was really easy for me to understand and accept. But I'm at a point now where I'm going, I really, really wish someone was coming, because I am all tired of just being my only. I'm not my only. I feel like I've been waiting to receive my rewards in abundance for a very long time. And I've just been told to be patient. And all I've got is my goddamn father's voice in my head from 20 years ago saying, you're really impatient. And I just remembered waiting 3 years to date one boy who treated me like shit. And I waited 10 years for another man to find him after I lost him. So I'm very familiar with waiting. I'm tired of it really just hit me. I've been told I'm unlovable. I've been told that no one can live with me. And the thing is, I believe every one of these things. So I just, maybe it's not as bad as it seems. Maybe this isn't going to last forever. That's the one that always gets me. It's not going to last forever. It's temporary. It's temporary. So then ask yourself, what do you want? If this is temporary, then what do you want? I want to do what I want to do every single day of my life. And I want to enjoy it. And I want to do it because I chose it. God, it's like the movie Ants. It's the movie Ants. When he says at the end, it's pretty much the same it was before, except this time I chose it. And that's just it. I want freedom. We all just want freedom. I got onto this playlist and I should have a playlist just entitled Keeping It Real. I don't do the whole, okay, let's pretend everything's happy and let's smile. It doesn't work that way. I'm never going to be that person. I'm going to be that person that if I had a TV studio and I walked in there and they asked, so how are you? You have to be kind and you have to be happy and you have to be nice every day and smile. Like, oh no, I won't do that. I would walk in with PJs, some hot chocolate, my hair undone, and I'm just going, I'm here and this is as good as you're going to get today. Make it work. Like, I would be that person. I am that person. I really want a TV show now just to do that. Like, it's like a TV show where you've got three polished, beautiful blondes, brunettes, and they're just gorgeous. And then you've got frumpy me with my coffee and my fuzzy slippers and my bathrobe. And no, I'm going on the air just like this. And you're just gonna have to deal. Believe me, the people will love it because I'm fucking real. And then the camera would zoom in and it'd open up and there'd be these perfectly polished people. And then the camera swings over to me and there's me with my coffee. I represent the people today. I'm here for the people. And yeah, I'm feeling better. Maybe I need to make jokes and laugh. Yeah. And that's it. I'm here for the people. I don't believe I'm putting on a face and I won't. I'm here. I laid in bed for 30 minutes and it was the first time I did not wake up with this flood of gratitude filling me. That was interesting. I have stuff to research. I went, interesting. I did not go to bed doing my gratitude journal. I always do that. I did not wake up doing my gratitude journal. I did not do my manifestation thing before I went to sleep last night. I said, you know what? No, I'm just not doing wellness. It's the first time in a year. No, that's a lie. It's the first time in 5 years. I did not do wellness. I just said, no, I'm not going to do wellness. Fuck wellness. And I felt this massive thing just relax off of my shoulders. And I went, really? Am I really manifesting with this massive tension of you got to do it? And I feel it. I felt it. And I didn't even know it. Maybe that's why I needed to be this low so I could be aware so I could draw attention to the fact that I was conducting all of this wellness with this massive uptight, making sure everything's perfect and aligned, and I let go. Maybe that's what they mean when they say let go. Maybe that's what they mean. I wasn't controlling it last night. As low as I went, no, I'm not pretending. I'm not going to force optimism. I'm not going to try and get myself back onto the bright side. I am going to sit in this lousy, miserable place and just go with it. Or maybe that's the problem is I've been forcing it. I wrote my paper yesterday. And I couldn't believe I was writing it. And I finished it and I reread it. And I just went, wow. I have one more paper to write, which is just a summation of everything I've already written. This was the first time I actually put it all out and spelled it all out. And I just went, it checks out. It absolutely checks out. That if you take this abstract concept of the cognitive core and you define these foundational elements and the defense system, and if you accept this abstract concept that this is the functioning of the subconscious mind, well, now we understand the subconscious mind. Something happens when with understanding, and this is something we do in philosophy, is once you understand it, you can navigate it. It's like it's a map. Understanding and comprehension is a map. That's why this is so important. This is why we haven't been able to do anything prior. We didn't have a map to the subconscious mind. That's why this is big. Because just by comprehending how it works, it opens it all up and goes, oh, suddenly it's no longer looking at a person's behavior. Why do they do that? Well, have you noticed that when 5 people do this, they all have this reaction? Yes, but if you notice that if you put in this element, now it's here's the map. Oh, those people are here, you're over here, this person's over here, this person's over here. This makes so much sense. And they all have the same common problem. It was so clear and perfect. It was just undeniable. That's the beauty of logic. It's undeniable. And my body is going, you need a self-care day today. I had a fight with my identity and my intuition last night. And I just told the world, I'm done with it. I don't want it anymore. Because what I want is my ethereal planes where I'm a mermaid and a fantasy and a fairy goddess. And I used to be that once. And I want to be that again. I have this beautiful woman, Amanda, very, very lovely person. And I was watching her post yesterday and I was just going, I remember when I used to be like that. And I lost it. I used to be that way when I had Brain to Books. And 2 years into Brain to Books, it went away. And I just started to do this. I was that way when I was with Brain to Books. I was that way. Just being in New York City, I used to be that way. And then when I met Juanito, I was that way for like a year. And I have these pockets of memory where I was just dancing on sunlight. I was so happy. I was just dancing on sunlight. And I don't know if I will ever be that happy again. I just can't feel it. And I've been trying, and I just can't feel that. So I'm I feel so alone. I don't feel lonely. I just feel alone. And this is just part of it. And I don't want to stand up one more time and fight. I've and I feel like no, I've got to go on. And I feel like I'm going to get to the end, and I'm just tired of forcing this thing through. And maybe I should just step back and let it go its own pace. I really am just stuck in the world of existentialism and philosophy. It's all just a matter of perspective. I'm probably going to do a lot of philosophy podcasts today. I don't know what I'm doing today. I I'm just tired of carrying on.